Sarah, it's great to see you because the last time, oh, I'll let you explain. The last time we actually were in a group of people together, and Lisa Brand had something to do with bringing us all together.
That's right. We were in a panel for the Forest City London Music Awards, and we were talking about marketing and how, as an indie artist, we can maybe use each other's skills to help each other out.
And it was so much fun to talk to you, especially because knowing we had said it back then, and I said I wanted to talk to you because let's just jump right into it. You are heading somewhere in November as we speak in a very short time. Where are you going, and who's the performance part of with?
I'm actually, I won a contest to perform on the Melissa Etheridge Cruise. So,
Wow.
yeah, Melissa Etheridge is going to be there as well as Ann Wilson of, Ann Wilson
Yeah.
of Heart, and Katie Tunstall, and a lot of other artists that I've discovered through this amazing tour, and I'm just really excited. So yeah, we're going on a tour on a cruise together.
That is so cool. How did this all come together?
It was actually a call out to a submission to apply for a contest for an artist to open for the Melissa Etheridge Cruise. And I always sort of, take advantage of these contests. Is like once a year, I'll apply for something that I think is really cool. And usually I never really hear anything back. But this time I heard back that I made the top 10. And after that, the fans of the world could vote for their top five, which they did. I made the top five. And then from there, the Melissa Etheridge cruisers, the people that had bought tickets, were allowed to vote for their top three. And I made it in the top three, and hence I get to go.
That's amazing. I'm just curious. Have you ever met her before?
I have never met her at all. And to be honest, I didn't really know who she was until I was singing out in the world and people kept comparing me to Melissa Etheridge. And I don't know, what an honor to be compared to her now that I know who she is. But I was always sort of like, I don't know who this Melissa Etheridge woman is. I better look into her, find out who she is, you know?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've interviewed her once. She's amazing. I can't wait for you to have this experience. I'm just curious. Are you already packed? Are you still packing? Or
The people that are coming with me, I know that some of them are already packed, but I haven't even had time to think about it. Preparing for a cruise is logistically quite challenging, and then add the COVID situation to it, and
yeah,
also add the fact that I'm bringing a crew along with me. I've got a videographer and a photographer, and
smart.
they're documenting the cruise with me, and so I have people coming from all over Canada, and I've had to put all these logistics together. So it's been quite the preparations, and I'm just on my way to a little gig here, and then after that, I can start to think about packing because I leave on Monday.
Wow. And hold
Yeah.
on. So let me just think about this because you're leaving on Monday and you're going to be performing. Just curious, are you going to be performing music from your latest album?
I will for sure, Rudy. I will. Yeah, I'm going to be performing. We have 1 hour sets, and I will be performing with my band those for 1 hour. And I've got a collection of my favorite Sarah Smith songs through the years. Some of the songs off my newest album is "You Don't Get My Love" is one that we'll be performing probably as the ender of the set because it's a nice high energy song that will leave the crowd, um, hoping for more.
I love it. Look, I want to talk about the new album in a second, but let's just go into more with your career too, on where it started. Now, I just want to make sure, originally from London, Ontario?
Yes, originally from London, Ontario. I just have to say that we actually have a company in our house right now working on some electrical stuff, and looks like the electricity has just maybe gone out, but it's all good. So if you see a difference in the lighting and stuff, then this is what's happening.
All good. You know what? I don't even think people are going to notice that because they're enjoying that beautiful fire behind you.
That's right. This is the real kind of lighting right here. This is where it's at. Sorry, what was the question?
No, I was just asking, originally from London, where did the love of music begin for you?
So the love of music began for me in church. Actually, my parents took me to church as a kid, and I was a part of the choir. And my mom was the choir leader, and I think she was a little bit biased of my singing, um, my singing skills. So I always got all the solos, and I started to learn that stage was where I wanted to be from there.
What kind of stories as you were growing up did you like to tell through your music?
My stories have always just come from the heart. I wish I was the kind of writer that could write a story and put myself into a role, and maybe that will come in time. But my songs have always come from my heart and just my own experiences, and usually they come from pain. And my songs um, are usually something that bring me out of the pain and show me again that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
We talked about, you kind of mentioned earlier about you being an indie artist. What are the advantages for you being an indie artist? I know a lot of artists today, some say, yeah, I want to be signed by a big company, but some are like, no, no, don't want to go there. I want to do it on my own. What are the advantages for you being an indie artist?
Well, really, honestly, I just love the fact that I can just say yes to all the opportunities that come my way. And if things don't feel right, I can say no. But most of the time, as an indie artist, I'm a yes guy. Like, let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's take all the opportunities I can. I just got back from 7 weeks in Europe. I was on tour,
Wow.
and we were the first band that a lot of these clubs had had since COVID. And we paved the way for the indie artists out there, you know? It was quite exhilarating to be able to play these venues that hadn't seen the day of light for almost 2 years. And that's the kind of thing we get to do as indie artists. We can just do what we want to do.
You did mention the dreaded word COVID, and it's affected so many people in so many ways. How did it affect your career? Like, what was happening before COVID? What happened during? And you just kind of mentioned what happened after.
So really, like before COVID, I was a touring artist playing nearly 300 shows a year. And that has been consistent for over a decade. I've been just touring and touring and touring. And COVID allowed me to settle and to sit and to, breathe. And I decided then and there that the peace and the serenity that I was feeling here at home, I decided to take that a little step further, and I moved to British Columbia, and I set up shop here in this beautiful little island that I live on. And I decided that this is going to be my kind of life now, a serene and peaceful life. And I wrote a lot of music. I helped a lot of people take their lyrics and create music from their own lyrics, like poems and stuff. That was something I did as commissioned during COVID. And also, I just really enjoy being at home, doing things like wood chopping and doing, your normal day-to-day kind of things. And now that COVID is over, or it's things are progressing in the world again, I'm able to enjoy being back on the road again. So it's
So wait a
wonderful.
minute. So in that wood stove, the wood that we're seeing that's beautifully burnt up, that's what you chopped and put in?
Yeah, I actually am part of a charity group here on the island. They're called the Green Angels, and we chop wood for the residents of Pender Island, British Columbia. So yeah, that's what I do. That's my workout routine and my morning routine when I'm here on the island. And then the rest of
Amazing.
the time, I get to tour and play music and do what I love to do.
Amazing. Now we're gonna get into the new album, but before we actually talk about the name of the album, what it's about, did you record this during COVID? Yes or no?
No, the new album was recorded in 2019, and we released it at the end of November 2019, which meant that we didn't really have a lot of time to, celebrate this uh, because COVID happened in like February, right? So it was just released before all of that happened.
Okay, because I was gonna ask what the difficulties was it for you. Here you are, you got this great music, and COVID's causing people in and out, up and down. What were the difficulties for you in releasing this?
The difficulties for me were just we didn't get to tour it. We had to stop the touring. We had some tours planned in Europe and some tours through Canada to promote this album, and we didn't get to do that. And we didn't even get to play really a lot of shows as a band um, to promote this album. So eventually, here we all were sitting at home trying to figure out what we could do as musicians. I played some shows on my own solo, but a lot of the guys in the band, unfortunately, had to change their lives a
Wow.
lot. Mm.
Well, I'm
So
glad things are slowly turning around. So let's get to it. What is the name of the new album and how does it represent your career today?
The newest album is called Unveiling. It's an album about, being truthful, raw, honest, and vulnerable. It's lots of songs that go through the pain of a breakup, and come out at the end of wanting forgiveness and making amends. So for me, it was an album of healing, and I hope that anybody that's going through something difficult might be able to find some healing in these songs as well.
Now, we talked about you performing some of these songs on this upcoming cruise. I checked. You got some shows happening in December too, and I think in early January as well.
Yeah, I'm actually playing a week um, on the island, Vancouver Island, when I come back from the cruise. And then at the end of November, early December, I'm playing a week in Ontario with a stop in Montreal as well. And after that, I'm just sort of, letting the wind take me where it takes me.
Speaking of winds, the winds are getting a little bit colder. We are getting into the holiday season. What are the plans?
Well, the plans here for me, I'm going to be on the island, on Pender Island, for the winter, and I'm going to record a new album. And I've got lots of songs ready to go. I'm going to play some shows around here. I'm going to be going to Maui, Hawaii. I'm going to be going to Roatan to play some shows. I've been invited to Mexico. I go with the flow. That's what I'm doing.
I love it. I'm just curious though, when growing up, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Christmas or holiday gift that you got?
Oh, of course, my guitar. Yeah, when I was 13, I was begging my parents for a violin. I just really, really wanted a violin, and I got a guitar. And I was like, "What kind of gift is this?" But a few days in, I realized that I could put my feelings into this, and I taught myself how to play guitar and how to write music. And eventually, like a few months later, I was writing breakup songs and making my parents cry.
I love it. Did you ever get that violin? Just curious.
Nope, never got it. I worked at a pizza place with a Czech family, and I remember that the dad, he would always look at my fingers. He'd say, "No, you can't play the violin. Your fingers are too small." So now I just have calluses on my fingers from guitar.
I think I'm the same way too. Like stubby
Yeah,
fingers
holy.
and stubby arms. So no, we're in the same boat. As we wrap this up, I've been asking a lot of folks this question. Going into 2019, people are just like, okay, we're going into 2020, and oh, it's going to be a great year and everything. And then we went into 2020, and we still had the tough times, and people were like, oh, we're going into 2021, it's going to be great, and we still have the tough times. People are on that mindset again about going into 2022. What advice can you give folks in, sort of like, yeah, we're going into a new year, but it doesn't always mean that everything is going to change. What advice can you give them?
I think you just said it right. For me, I live my life one day at a time. I really do. I live it in the moment. I try to just enjoy the moments that come, and wake up the next day and see what the day brings, one day at a time.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the new album. I'm so happy for you on what you're doing on this upcoming cruise. I cannot wait. I follow you, so I cannot wait to see the pictures that are going to go up on Instagram, which is going to be amazing. Looking forward to the new music in the new year and just everything else that's happening with you. Congratulations, and thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Thank you, Rudy. Thanks for having me. Thank you.